Hey guys, it's Chris,
Hello, William.
and today is our last day on the Wonder of the Seas. And so we just thought we'd come and give you the our opinion on the food so far, and probably our last meal. But so we have some mixed reviews on the food. Um, so we had dining room breakfast, dining room lunch, and dining room dinner on this 14-night tour. So we had one each, one breakfast, one lunch, and one dinner. And for me, it was just not good at all. The breakfast was really bad, but the lunch was even worse. I think the lunch was the worst I've had in the dining room at all. And then the chicken we had in the chicken, it was brown on the inside, so that tells me it was old. Even the dinner, it wasn't good at all. So that was that. And what else did we try?
The service was good in the dining room. The service was really good.
Service was good.
We're not sure whether the ship is, whether the food coming from overseas, whether it was scarcely resupplied or what was the cause of the food being a little spoiled and not being as fresh as it should be. But that, it's not so much as the cooking. You know when food is not fresh, it's been sitting for a while. So,
and I thought maybe it was because doing this 14 night, they had to maybe stockpile and get as keep plenty on hand. But even in the Windjammer ended up being the place to eat for all of us. Because we had variety, and if something wasn't good, you could always get something else. But the problem with that is we ran into the same food over and over. If they had rice, then the next day you're going to put some beans in it, made rice and beans. But you can tell it was the same food. Even had some ribs last night. And they had a couple fresh ones in there, but then you had, the ones that were served last week was mixed in with that too, and you can tell because it's unedible. The meat, you can't even chew it, so you know it's bad. Don't get me wrong, the Windjammer, like I said, was the place to eat the entire time. We did eat there, but again, it was hit or miss. So
yeah, it was kind of disappointing that. That they would play on the people's. Not everybody on the ship is drunk, and I think that's what they in looking at is that most people are drinking, and I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in most cases that you do not notice the food, but we don't drink, so the first thing we notice is the food. That's the only other thing that we enjoyed about Royal Caribbean ships is most of the time, I would say, close to 90%, 90 even 95% of the time. I mean, we ran into a few after the pandemic. You kind of expected it, but even then, you shouldn't be expecting for a corporation this size to. I know we want to cut corners and make money, but if you're going to cut on the food,
you can't do that.
People get sick, and it increases your liability, I would think. So we're definitely not really happy with what we encountered here.
Right. Now the ship is nice. We enjoyed being on the ship. The room, we enjoyed the room.
The service
was great. Like he said, all of the service. We haven't ran into any bad service yet. It's just for me, the bad food. And so you had room service.
Yes, the room service again was nowhere. The quesadillas was, for me to say that food is cold, it was super cold. Something like that should not even be plated if you didn't have it. Say you don't have it. We liked doing room service. We only did room service once. That's how bad it was for the room service. And again, there's no excuses for it, but you could see what's happening. The ship, I think it's 2,000 people less on the ship, and it's obvious. It's not something that people aren't aware of, that the corporations are in their stockholders is looking for profit, even today. But one thing that I do know, that if you're seeking profit and you're cutting so much, eventually people are going to stop looking at this as one of the best vacations out there. And maybe everybody's not that way about food. But
some people only eat just to socialize, But we enjoy taste and flavor and fresh food, and that we have not been getting any fresh food other than fresh fruit. I will say the fruit has been fresh, but the dishes just bad. And
you're talking average dishes. You're not talking about what you like you said it right. They're mixing in old stuff with fresh stuff when that should not even be an option.
Yeah, I had some bacon that was almost made me throw up, and I love bacon, but this bacon, it was spoiled. It was something wrong with it, and so I couldn't eat anymore. So yeah. And then I don't think we tried anything else. We had something from Park Cafe, and it was okay. And we had a couple things from, you can say, on some from Park Cafe.
No, like Wonderland.
Oh, but we had something in Cafe Promenade. We got something from there, and it was okay. What about the pizza?
The pizza was okay this time. The pizza was pretty good this time. It's not the that Green Mac pizza, but it was actually, pizza was probably pretty good on this ship. Usually the pizza,
I don't like pizza, so I can't comment.
Usually the pizza's not that great, but it was pretty good. I was impressed with the pizza.
Okay, now you're gonna talk about Wonderland. Wonderland for my birthday.
It was a good experience. The food was good. And the thing about Wonderland is, if you didn't like the food, it wasn't because it wasn't fresh. It's just that it wasn't your cup of tea. So, but overall, Wonderland was a great experience, and I wouldn't trade that for anything on this cruise. So, but that was early in the cruise. The shows were excellent.
Yes.
Everything, the ship is excellent. The service is impeccable. So, I don't know, maybe because the ship was in Europe and it didn't have the capabilities to put American food on the ship in quantities that they should have. I don't know. We don't know what happened on this one.
But hopefully, when it goes to the States, which should be tomorrow, they'll get new food, fresh food, and maybe be able to turn it over, over and over and over, instead of saving it and reusing it, and things like that. So hopefully that happens so if you're cruising later, maybe you'll get fresh food. But this is just as of today, and today is November 12th, 2022.
And we want to make sure we reiterate that normally we get very satisfactory food, and some ships we get excellent food. So
you want to talk about Playmakers?
Playmakers was very disappointing for us. We first, they didn't have what she really wanted.
The only reason I went there was for the jalapeno poppers,
and they didn't have them, and that could be because the ship was overseas for a while. They probably don't have that stuff. But
chicken wings were not done.
Yeah, they're trying to get service out again. You have to cook the chicken. At least most people think we have to cook chicken. So
it wasn't done enough for me. And then the French fries were okay. And then the onion rings, I had the onion ring tower. They were okay. Just had a bunch of batter on it, but other than that, it was okay. And then should I tell them?
Yeah. You're going to have unfortunate things to happen. I'm going to let you tell it. But the things about that is you have to be really, really careful on a ship like this. People are expecting people to look out for all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to let you tell the story because I'm still not wanting to talk about it right now.
So when we were at Playmakers, and I had BK and Abby with us, and so she was eating she asked for she had the chicken wings with the blue cheese and how they give you the carrots and celery. So she was eating the celery, and then all of a sudden, all we know is she jumped up screaming and crying and kind of spitting whatever she had in her mouth out. I mean, she was so distraught. And then once we found out what was going on, we saw the celery that she was eating. It had a whole line of black bugs on the celery, and it freaked her out. So I know she still wasn't well when they took her down to the medical department, but she still wasn't well. And I know that messed with your psyche when you just ate a bunch of bugs. And I mean, she was eating the celery, but it was loaded with bugs. And I have a picture, so I'll insert a picture. But that's very disappointing. And yeah, I think that may make it a wrap for Playmakers.
It may make a wrap for the rest of the cruise.
I hope she doesn't stop cruising.
Yeah, that could be. And I'll be honest with you, it messed with mine too.
You didn't even want to look at it.
I didn't want to look. I saw it, but I didn't want to look at it because I'm thinking, okay, we had what do we have scheduled? We had scheduled for tonight.
The mason jar.
We had the mason jar scheduled, so we canceled that. And I'm not looking forward to eating any breakfast tomorrow either. So I may end up eating at the airport, and that's bad.
Yeah, it just kind of messed with your psyche. You don't know what you're eating, and now. And we know the food has been bad all along. There's even Kay and BK and even Ronald, her husband, at some point in a meal, they end up spitting it out because it was bad. So that has happened to all three of us. Did you have it to you too?
Yeah, I spit out the, was it either the breakfast or the lunch?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I spit something out, and I told him it was just ice cold. I mean, it was cold. It was the blueberry pancakes I had.
Oh, yeah, they were frozen.
Almost frozen, and I was like, "Wow, come on now, this is ridiculous." And it was hard, real hard. So it was like it was not only cold; it was from yesterday.
Yeah, some of these are days old.
And see, this is the kind of stuff that if it continues to happen, you would probably change cruise lines. But I'm almost sure that from just looking at how things are being done, everyone is trying to please their stockholders, and every dollar is being counted for. When in actuality, if you lose people from cruising, you definitely gonna lose money. So I don't know what kind of game we're playing today, but not just cruising is doing it. Every business is all about commercial, the stockholders' profits, especially after the pandemic.
Trying to get 300% profit. And,
300% profit, and then not realizing that people stop cruising because of not necessarily the service. But don't get me wrong, I don't think people. You got on this ship, most people are not just about food. So,
right.
But it's our thing, and if we stop cruising, it probably wouldn't matter to them at all. But because the services, I wouldn't stop cruising because what we do is there's so many venues to eat on the ship. You find one that kind of fits, like we did Windjammer, and we kind of wish we would have stayed with that.
Yeah.
And again, the advantage to the Windjammer is if it's not good, you just go back and get you something different. But when you're paying for food, like the Playmakers,
additional cost,
you expect that to be top notch. And even the mason jar, people were saying that pretty much food that you get in Windjammer, you get in the mason jar. That's
yeah. We kind of had some mixed review. People had mixed reviews, but again, the people told us about Playmakers.
Yeah.
I mean, they said, well, you have to try it before you leave. So that's why we tried it today. But it was, it was not good. It was okay. Some of it was, but
yeah, and that's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Yeah. So, but it overall, it was a good cruise. overall.
Yes.
It was very relaxing. So, we're not here to complain, but we call this to be an honest time frame.
Yeah.
If the food is excellent, we're going to tell you it's excellent. If it's not, it's just not. And also on the survey, if you put it down to the point where it's negative, we're just going to say it like it really is. When you put that down on your survey, the app stops working. So we're not going to play with it. I mean, because people say, they don't know about cruising unless you tell them about it. And they say, why would you put up with something like that? Well, to me, that's part of life. So what you want to do with it, but you got to weigh the thing out.
Yeah, I mean, because you get bad food at McDonald's.
You get bad food at McDonald's. You get bad food at a $1,000 plate. We paid $50 for a piece of chicken. That was hard. This dried out chicken and some string beans came out of the can, and we paid $50 for it. And we sit there and ate it. So, but we want to be honest about our experience on the ship.
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong. We still plan on coming back on Royal Caribbean.
Absolutely.
We really enjoyed ourselves, but this is what we call the food critic side of it. So,
yeah, just hopefully they do something about that. Get it fresh.
That's all. That's all. And you can't play with people and think that people don't know stuff that's been refried.
Yeah.
Stuff that has been you mixing good and old, and you cracking your teeth trying to eat the old. So all we ask is that you don't have to do that.
Yeah, don't cut those corners. Don't
have to cut those corners. Those are corners you do not have to cut. Yeah. And I understand each captain has to make so much on the ship. Each department has to make so much on the ship, especially when you're 2,000 people short already.
Yeah.
So,
but we love the good ship now.
Oh.
We'll be back on December 4th.
Oh.
We'll be on the Oasis of the Seas.
And then in January, we're going to be on the Odyssey. And then we got Allure and
I think it's the Radiance.
Oh, and we going.
Yeah.
Are we going? Because there's nowhere in this world that you're not going to have some troubles. The key is what you going to do when the trouble hits. But now we got to deal with this this little bug issue. It's still in my mind. So.
Yeah, we will not be eating tonight, and probably in the morning either. Yeah.
But tomorrow I will let it go.
Yeah.
We'll let it go.
We'll let it go.
Yeah, we'll let it go. We'll let it go. Because we have had some excellent food on Royal Caribbean. Some excellent food.
Just not on this ship. But we love the Wonder of the Seas.
And if you really look at it, everything they're doing now, it's just not this. It's not cruise ship. Everything they're doing, you're not getting 100% beef.
No,
you're not getting that no more. And that's just not on the cruise ship. That's anywhere. You're not getting 100% of nothing anymore. And that's the reason why stuff don't taste right, because you're not getting it. They're mixing it with all kinds of other things, and they're not telling us about it. So, and I was wondering why they put out that label, ingredients label. I thought that was crazy when they first started doing it, but now I can see why it's important. But if you're eating fresh food and you think you're eating a fresh burger, if it don't say 100% ground beef, you're not eating it no more. So,
yeah,
this is a long video, and because we're sad, we're not.
Yeah, I feel sad for BK.
Yeah, and to end the cruise like this is really not good.
Yeah, so we have to take our mind back to Barcelona, Puerto de Malaga, Valencia. We had an excellent time on the ship. Excellent company. Had met friends, people that we met from
previous cruises.
Yeah, previous cruises. So it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
It's been good, but yeah, there's room for improvement. Royale, and so yep, that's all we have for you guys. But don't let this stop you from sailing on Wonder of the Seas. Again, it's an excellent ship, beautiful vessel, lots and lots to do, tons of things for the kids and adults alike. So just don't let the food part stop you.
Yeah.
You know, for us, it's just not.
Yeah, don't.
It wasn't the usual.
It's not the usual, and even if it was, it's such a smaller portion. You know, that we would not. They would have to change the service and all that other stuff to make us not cruise at all.
Yeah, once the service goes down and the ship is bad and not clean, then that'll be a whole nother issue. Yeah. So, but right now we can deal with the food because we can always find something to eat. So
yeah, and we don't need to eat that much anyway.
He didn't say that. Oh wait, okay, guys. So we're leaving Nassau, Bahamas, headed to Orlando.
Yeah, it's cool now. You wanna?
Yeah. So
it's cool out there. You wanna let them look at the ocean?
Yeah. We can take you outside and let you see.
Yeah, it was super hot just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's why we came in to do this video.
And we wasn't used to that because it's been super, super cool.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah.
We've been having waves, and I'm going to let you guys see what this looks like. Now, I'm sure you know what the Bahamas look like, but you can always see the ocean. Anytime you can see the ocean. Look at that! Look at that! Oh. This is what we pay for. Not just the food, but this is what we pay for.
This is what we pay for right here. This right here.
Love it.
So show over there.
That's where we just left the Nassau, Bahamas. Cloudy. So guys, we're gonna get you off of here. So in the meantime, and in between time, we're gonna keep enjoying the view, and we're gonna see you around the ship.
Yeah.